What's up, guys? I'm EJ. I'm joined by Shamari and Kendall here for this special video. We're doing a little bit of a preview of the DC Fandome virtual experience that's going to be happening in less than 2 weeks from now. And the company just recently unveiled its massive guest list, and I think a lot of fans certainly got excited when they saw who would be attending. Now, it pretty much includes anyone who's anyone when it comes to DC's past, present, and future. A promotional video that was released to social media displayed more than 300 names, some of which probably you would expect your Wonder Woman's Gal Gadot, Matt Reeves, and Robert Pattinson from Batman, Zachary Levi from Shazam, and of course Zack Snyder, who's doing the HBO cut for Justice League. But other names, Ezra Miller, who's been a little controversy. He has a movie coming out, The Flash. The Rock, his project Black Adam, has been a little bit of a mystery to some people. Have certainly had fans kind of curious about what we're going to see from this 24-hour experience that's going to be happening Saturday, August 22nd. That is, I believe, at noon that day. So, Shamari, I'm going to go to you first here. Which of these names that you saw, out of all these names, that were you most intrigued by?
All right. So the first name I have on my list of people that I am most intrigued by, I'll make it a kind of a two-pronged, kind of a double here. So Scott Snyder, along with Patrick Redding, is the head of WB Games Montreal. So both of you guys know I've been talking about this. I've been talking about this game for the longest time. This
game?
WB Montreal Batman game that is supposed to be in development. So we have it confirmed that we're getting a Suicide Squad game at this event.
Yeah, it's very new news.
So that is new news. It was recently released, but we did not have confirmation yet that the WB Games Montreal game is going to be released. But with Scott Snyder being there, who it's been rumored heavily that the Court of Owls are going to be featured in this game, and with the WB Games Montreal director being there, I mean, it has the writing all over the wall for that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that certainly is going to be interesting when you talk about, like you mentioned, the Suicide Squad game that's already been unveiled. But, whatever WB Montreal has in store, they sat out. There was no E3, obviously.
Right.
They've kind of been very quiet through this whole summer of gaming, and they're one of the companies that people are kind of looking forward to seeing what do they have next in store. Not only will they might be, sold in the near future, but what do they have for their games division? So I'm excited for what we're going to see from DC in regards to Suicide Squad, but also in regards to potentially a Batman game.
Absolutely, yeah. This Batman game has been kind of hollowed ground to some degree. Like, it's been a lot of mystery, a lot of questions about what this thing is. So if Snyder and the people at WB Montreal are there, start to connect some dots, that could be very exciting. What else, Sham?
Yeah. So next on my list, I have The Rock himself, Dwayne Johnson. So come as no surprise to anyone that knows me. Watch a lot of Titan games. I watch a lot of Ballers. And I'm very excited to see him play Black Adam. So yeah, I'm extremely excited to see what he has to say. They haven't started filming yet, which makes it even more intriguing. It adds an extra level of mystery to it. So, in a way, I wouldn't say it's better, but if he's going to be there talking about it, I would believe he's going to give some kind of details, since we don't have any footage to show. It's not like he could just show up, wave his hands, and say, "Okay, look at this footage."
The little teaser we got was just some generic picture of him behind some sort of ancient, kind of looking thing.
Yeah,
we really don't, it clearly wasn't something from Black Adam because he had no cape or anything.
Right, exactly.
But when we get a look at Black Adam, was that a look at Black Adam?
Right.
Maybe, we can tell.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, the Black Adam stuff is, again, also very much a mystery. We know he's doing it. He put that Instagram post up with the artwork, so we know something's happening with that project. We've heard rumors about what characters may be in that movie, but now that we're actually there, yeah, now The Rock's showing up, I hope we see something. I don't know what. I don't know if they'll reveal the story a little bit, but any of those details, I'm really looking forward to figuring out as well. What's your last one, Champ?
All right, my last one here is Brenton Thwaites of Titans.
Wow.
So we will be getting more. EJ's representing. There you go. So
represent.
So we will be getting more Titans. Curran Walters is also going to be there as Jason Todd.
Yes.
So
will we get the Red Hood show that everyone's talking about?
Will we get the Red Hood? I mean, it's a real question. I mean, we're getting pretty much everybody else, according to all the rumors and things that we've been hearing. We're getting Tim Drake and Barbara Gordon, and I don't know who else has been rumored, but many other people I'm sure have been rumored.
Yeah.
We know we're getting Blackfire. So, yeah, I mean, more Titans. I mean, I've been a big fan of Titans. I feel like for the most part they've done very well, and I think it's the most. I think Stargirl's probably a close second, but I think it's the most comic booky show that is on right now.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what they have to show for the next season.
Yeah. Titans. I'll have a little bit to say about Titans a little later, but
okay.
But it's certainly interesting. There's been a lot of speculation. Will it go to HBO Max? What's the future of DC Universe? So that could certainly be tied into what we see at DC Fandome. Will there be a future? Will they announce Titans to HBO Max? That's something I'm going to be looking forward to.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. Obviously, again, I'm representing the Nightwing shirt, so that's something that I'm big fan of Nightwing, and we know that in the last season, no spoilers, but they kind of obviously showed that we're going in that direction with the Dick Grayson character. Titans didn't have a great season finale. They seemed to struggle with that mightily, to say the least. But nonetheless, obviously, me being the Nightwing fan on this podcast, on this YouTube channel, that is seeing Brenton's voice there. I'm really excited about that. Kendall, what we got for you? What are you excited to see?
All right, so I'm gonna start out. I mentioned I was gonna talk about Titans. Well, not necessarily Titans, because that show can be up and down. But I'm gonna talk about the Teen Titans because on the list we had Greg Sipes, voice of Beast Boy. We had Kari Payton. We had Scott Menville, voice of Robin, and we had Tara Strong, voice of Raven. So, is it something just for Teen Titans Go? Potentially. But, I mean, we know this is DC Fandome. If they're really going to give the people what they want, do they announce a season 6 of Teen Titans? That's something that I'm going to be looking forward to for sure. They teased it. Obviously, we did the movie with Teen Titans versus the Teen Titans Go. And, obviously they've had a massive success with Teen Titans Go from a commercial standpoint. But we all know that deep down, all the fans really want is a season 6 to close out whatever cliffhangers were left from the last season.
I think that's very interesting.
I mean, my interesting, Shamari, like unlikely.
My gut says that it's going to be Teen Titans Go. It's going to be a kids.
Right.
It's going to be a kids section.
Right.
During the DC Fandome.
You gotta have it, yeah.
And Teen Titans Go is I mean, kids love Teen Titans.
Oh, it's very popular.
And Cartoon Network for a while was airing nothing but Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they aired.
For a while by now. For a while, by yesterday.
So, yeah. I mean, I think it's more likely that it's more Teen Titans Go, but I don't think it's completely impossible. I mean, Teen Titans, we're seeing a resurgence of so many shows just coming back out of nowhere, it seems, especially with Disney Plus and a lot of other things. I mean, we're getting Lizzie McGuire and a bunch of other shows that just you thought would have just been long dead.
Yeah.
They're just
Proud Family.
Yeah,
That's Where Raven come back.
That's where you got
Boy Meets World came back.
All these shows. A lot of stuff is Disney, but they're coming back,
right?
And they're not completely flopping. So, and Clone Wars came back.
He's even talked about the X-Men animated series even coming back. The creators for that said that they had conversations with Disney Plus.
Yeah, so it's not completely out of the question that Teen Titans would be under the discussion for that.
Yeah, again, it does probably lend itself more to pipe dream, but you never know. You know what I'm saying? So, and the creators being there does raise some questions of what we may see. Obviously Teen Titans Go is a huge brand for DC, but the old heads like us, we want to go back, take it way back. Shout out to Logic. We want to go back to what we had with the original show. But what other names you got, Kendall?
Second name I'm going with is Ed Boon. Shamari hit on the
Yes.
WB Games side of this, obviously with Scott Snyder and where we're going to get from that. But Ed Boon, for those who don't know, is obviously the head of NetherRealm Studios, creator of Mortal Kombat, but also Injustice. And obviously, right now they're in their Mortal Kombat kind of phase of promotion with MK11 and the things they're doing with that game. So
And the movie coming out
there's
too.
a part of you that wonders if this is about some DLC pack for Green Lantern being in Mortal Kombat, but there's the other part of me that says, are we getting an Injustice 3 announcement? Ed Boon even talks about a Marvel versus DC game being something he wants. I don't think that would be announced at a DC Fandome event, but Injustice 3 is certainly something that seems right to announce now, especially considering, we're not getting this game for 2 years probably, but putting it out there at a DC Fandome event now, I would say makes sense.
Now to add smoke to that, the new
Don't
Injustice comic, Injustice Year Zero,
Yes,
just came out, which I plan on getting the first chance I get. I might actually get it today, but that actually just came out.
JSA centric story.
Story.
Yeah, that looks dope.
Yeah, so this is extremely interesting news. I don't think we're going to get anything concrete, honestly. He may announce, or he may hint, oh, we have more Injustice, da, da, da. You know how he does.
He said that before, yeah.
He says stuff like that. I'm thinking we may get something like that. And then more DLC or skin. Hopefully it's not skins. Hopefully it's an actual character. But hopefully I'm thinking it's more DLC or something for Mortal Kombat. That's what I'm thinking he's probably going to do.
Yeah, it's funny because I saw Boss Logic actually did a little artwork he posted on Instagram for like Injustice 3. Obviously, there's no announcement happening, but he likes to have fun with certain internet theories and put his artwork behind it. And I think in some ways his artwork can sometimes spark ideas for some of these companies. So I was happy he did that. It's funny because I feel like Injustice 2 wasn't that long ago. But I'm a little weird because I just, during this pandemic, because I'm trying to find more games to play that I haven't really played, I was playing the crap out of Injustice for like a good month. So I feel like, oh man, that feels like, Injustice 2. So I feel like, oh man, this feels not that, it was kind of crazy to come up with Injustice 3. But, I mean, it was, I guess, 2018 that came out, or early 2019, whatever that was. So, I mean, new platform coming out, next generation consoles, they got to start developing what the next thing will be. It makes sense that they maybe would have something with Injustice.
Yeah. The last name on the list for me, I was juggling two different controversies. I wasn't sure which to go with.
Oh boy! All right.
I'm just gonna go with the Ezra Miller one.
Oh yeah, I figured that.
Yeah, that's the one that's
Right.
more. Maybe EJ will have the third one. If not, I'll throw in an honorable mention. But Ezra Miller to me is fascinating. Look, let's be honest. We haven't heard from him since the whole situation that happened, on social media. With his alleged video that happened that leaked or that came out. So it'll be interesting to see Ezra Miller. Does he address it at all? I don't imagine he will.
No, not at all.
He hasn't addressed it now, so why he hasn't addressed it before? So why would he address it now?
Especially on something this.
Yeah, it's this positive
like this.
Yeah, PR.
Like going to Comic-Con and talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's weird about this, and in some ways I can see it going both ways, because on the one hand, like, this is going to be the most ultimate actor friendly environment to avoid controversy. I mean, we're excited about it. This is all a PR. This is a 24-hour PR fest. You know what I'm saying? So on the one hand, it's like, oh yeah, this is perfect for him not to have to address anything like this. But on the other hand, because it's such a friendly venue, I wonder, maybe Warner Brothers says, if there's any time for you to make a statement where you're not going to get really any pushback, any follow-up questions, you could craft your apology any way you like, this would be the venue, because it's not going to be as easy with some of these, these outlets. Some of these outlets, they work hand in hand with the company, so they could put together something that's maybe not as hard hitting, but it's still not going to be as easy as working with the company on their own outlet to craft whatever apology you're going to say. So I can almost see him go both ways.
I and I hear you, EJ, with that. I feel like him even bringing that back to the forefront in such a
It's
dangerous because
But I've already seen people saying how is Ezra being allowed to come back
oh yeah
and do this thing while Ray Fisher who spoke out against Berg and against Jeff Johns and obviously Josh Whedon, he's not on this list, which I think raised a lot of eyebrows. People.
The honorable mention I was going to mention was that Jeff Johns is on the list, and
right.
Ray Fisher is not. So that,
right.
That was one that intrigued me as well.
So like for some people, so like I don't know if like yes he would be stirring it up, but this might be the best place to stir it up because I don't know, it's not going away.
Now,
like as soon as his name came up, people were writing, "Why is Ezra Miller here? He's not canceled?" Question mark. Like that was the whole question. So, I almost feel like if there's any position to make this as most comfortable as possible for him, because I told you I don't think he can survive this. Though DC's gonna try. This would be the start, I would think. If he went out there and just started making jokes about being the Flash, that's gonna look crazy. That's gonna look nuts, and people are gonna kill him on social media for it.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. And look, we also got the Muschiettis on there who are going to be directing the movie. You know, there was no Michael Keaton on the list. You know, although there are many more guests to show up. That's somebody they're trying to hide,
quote unquote, many more.
Yeah, whatever that means. Do we get an announcement about Michael Keaton being in the movie? There was Val Kilmer on the list. I thought that was interesting, but he's been going through his own kind of health issues, so I can't imagine he's gonna be playing, Batman right now. But I don't know. That was somebody else.
He was a random one. I didn't understand what he was.
Yeah. I don't know if that will be connected to some sort of Schumacher tribute or something along those lines, but yeah, I don't know. This Flash movie is one that obviously has been in the news a lot over the last month. Clearly, they've been putting the pieces in place for this movie to get ready for fandom, in part. So whatever they have to show or talk about, hopefully will be exciting. And for DC, hopefully will be exciting enough to overshadow the Ezra Miller cloud that'll be over fandom, the fact that he's there.
Yeah, the whole Flash situation is probably the most intriguing. Second most intriguing thing. My first name will be the name that's most intriguing, but it's second most intriguing thing happening at DC right now. My first names that I obviously jumped out to me was of course Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson. Now obviously we know the Batman's coming out. It's not surprised that they're there, but I think when it comes to this movie, again, this movie also remains a bit of a mystery. Like, I've had some sourced reporting, quote unquote, that I've had on the movie on this show, and there's some things I have been told that I'm curious to see. Are we gonna get any information on the things I've been told about the film? There's other stuff on the internet that other people are reporting. Are we gonna learn what they've been told and anything like that? We've seen some, I think, the weird shots with the stunt double without a cape, and he looks like he's wearing a different suit. I'm scratching that aside. The actual shots that Reeves has approved and put out, and the film, the little test shoot that Reeves put out, that stuff looked gorgeous. I mean, I don't know if I can't see anybody who could criticize the Batmobile, how Pattinson looks in the costume. That stuff is really exciting to me. So when I see the kind of designs that they've been going for, I want to see a lot more. So there's a lot to be revealed with that movie. And I think if they didn't get back to shooting yet, they're about to get back to shooting. So we know it's a year away. I want to kind of see, okay, what's going on with that? Can we see some footage? Can we see some photos of maybe some more Batman or maybe some of the other characters we'll see? That's something I'm really looking forward to with Pattinson and Reeves being there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing Pattinson there as well. Another kind of interesting wrinkle with Pattinson in particular is, we've had some talk on previous shows with regards to some comments he's made with regards to his dedication to the job and that being in question. I'm not going to dig up all that stuff again, but But it's gonna be interesting to see.
Are you insinuating you want to see what kind of shape what kind of shape Rob Pattinson's in? Does he have a beer gut now?
See if it's Batfleck shape or if he's in Keaton shape. No. but no, we'll see. We're gonna see, like, we'll see where his head is at with regards to the movie. I have been a big fan of Pattinson in terms of some of his recent projects. I think he's definitely shown he's had acting chops.
He was great in Tenet.
Hopefully, he is great.
A movie that I know you haven't seen because none of us have seen.
None of us have those kinds of connections. But yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see what he has to say.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Pattinson is certainly going to be an interesting guy to hear from. Reeves, I think, is interesting because the one thing I'll be looking forward to. I mean, will we get a trailer for the Batman? Possibly, hopefully. You know, that's obviously
trailer. I can see a teaser. I know I'm splitting hairs here, but like they didn't film certain things.
It's gonna be 45 seconds.
Well, no, the reason why I say that is because, like, no, that's true. Because, like, there are, like, they say, oh, this is a trailer, but then it's like it doesn't show anything, and it's like a minute and 20 seconds. Like, that's not a trailer to me. That's a teaser. Again,
but maybe get sort of like footage that's gonna be, you know, that they're gonna release.
I mean, that's a question. Even that, like, will we see any kind of footage? Yeah,
right. So yeah, I don't know. This will be interesting. But I'm still excited to see what we'll get from Reeves, especially considering we're also supposed to be getting all these outside shows regarding the Batman. You know, we have obviously the Gotham shows coming out, but also Catwoman is supposed to be becoming a TV show.
That's a rumor out there. Yeah, we'll see if that gets substantiated. Some people have said that wasn't true. Grace Randolph, I think, was saying that she didn't hear that, but that is out there. The Catwoman HBO Max series with Zoe Kravitz too. You know, unfortunately, her Hulu show was canceled this week.
I wonder why.
I mean, I can't see why Hulu would say, oh, you know, I actually think Kravitz came out and was complaining about women of color representation in Hulu. So I don't think she was happy because she got this new gig that the other show got canceled. But who knows?
Yeah.
When it comes to my second name that jumped out to me, and I was a little surprised that Sham didn't jump to this name, but Damon Lindelof. You know what I'm saying?
I thought about Lindelof.
You know what I'm saying? So Damon Lindelof. Now, this could very well be a nothing burger. Obviously, Damon Lindelof was the showrunner of season 1 of HBO's Watchmen, which just had just dozens, I believe, of Emmy nominations just last week. It leads all categories, or all shows rather, with Emmy nominations. And Lindelof did an amazing job. That series is one of the best TV series I've ever watched, and just a great adaptation of obviously the source material. We all want more. I've been wanting to say that I'm cool if they don't do another one, but I'll be obviously very excited if they decide to go forward with another one. So Lindelof showing up here, I mean, I don't need to see Lindelof if he's just coming to, kind of,
get his roses.
Smell the roses. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like, look, he's welcome to do that. It's his right to do that. He deserves it. But I don't need you to say, hey man, like, we did a great season, we got all these Emmy nominations, thanks for the support, and then get Watchmen on DVD or Blu-ray. Like, cool. I love Damon Lindelof. I love what he did with the show. I don't need to see that. But if he's coming with some kind of announcement, well, that intrigues me. Is it Watchmen related? Is he working on another project with DC? I don't know, because to me, Watchmen's kind of always like the barely related cousin of all the DC properties. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw his name pop up, I was like, okay, is this, at first obviously you think Watchmen, but I think, well, what if he's working on something else? Who knows?
Yeah, we know he's closely tied with J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
Abrams obviously now doing a lot of DC. Will Abrams be there? We don't know. He's not on the list, but...
And that's a good point, Kendall, because I think that there are names, like you mentioned, obviously, Keaton. Thank you. I'm not even there. You know what I'm trying to think. That's brother intuition right there. But you mentioned Keaton. Like, I think there are going to be names of people that we didn't see who are going to show up. We're going to see a lot of surprise guests, I think. I think this is going to be a massive event, which I've talked about on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Right. Which, by the way, you should listen to. New Generation
Yeah.
Podcast Network, New Generation Hero Talk.
Speaking of the podcast, the Lindelof thing, I've been one on the podcast to talk about. Look, HBO, Warner Media, they gotta meet Lindelof's number, and when they meet his number
Kendall has been
financially,
for a long time.
that he'll be back. And look, if we're getting to Watchmen season 2, then I need you guys to eat a lot of crow post Fandome about
Wow, I'm not.
HBO.
We wouldn't know for sure that he just they just gave him an amount that he couldn't.
This dude was adamant. I don't want to do a season 2, and now all of a sudden we in Watchmen season 2.
Maybe what if he succumbed to fan pressure? What if he was like, oh, but I have some ideas and.
Because there was a lot of fan pressure. I mean, I don't know, was it you or was someone said he just quit? I think it was you, Kendall. You were like, I kind of feel like he quit by doing this.
Oh yeah. I mean,
so I mean, you're not the only person who said that. So I'm sure as a creator, there is some motivation behind that. But
what I will say is, do I think there's a possibility that this is Watchmen related, but it's not a season 2 announcement? I think so. Especially considering all the things we've seen in the country over the last couple of months. Could it be some sort of kind of PSA panel type thing? Could it be some sort of kind of, conversation on some of the things that have happened in the country and how it relates to Watchmen? I think that's a possibility as well.
And all that's great, and a shout out to my good homie Jason Bisnoff. He's a friend of the show. He's been on Sports Talk. And he just started watching Watchmen, and he said it's incredible. And I imagine, and I've seen some people on social media say the same thing. Watching Watchmen now or in recent months, given a lot of the social unrest in the country, it just hits even harder for those people. And I could see that. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. So. If they do that, that's great, cool. I'm excited. I don't need to see that, but Lindelof's name showing up. If he has something to share with us regarding more Watchmen content, or again a different project, I'm all ears. I want to hear what that's going to be. Last name I'm going to name today that I think is one that I'm curious about. Or this is kind of two people. Well, I'm only named one because I kept looking up the list and I couldn't find the other name. But I put Elizabeth Tulloch here, and I couldn't see if Tyler Hoechlin was there. But
he is there.
He is there. Okay, that list is like hard to read. You know what I'm saying? But so Hoechlin and Tulloch, Superman and Lois. We haven't mentioned really any of the other CW shows, but they're a big part. Yeah, Berlanti's there, and CW is a big part of what DC is doing. I mean. They just moved Stargirl onto that network exclusively. They have obviously all the Arrowverse shows on there. And this has been a show that, we've thought about this show a lot in terms of, is it necessary? What's it going to be about? And is this what we need? I think Tyler has been an excellent Superman. I don't know if how they've written him has been the greatest over there with Supergirl. And some of that has been to prop up Kara, which makes sense. You want to show that Kara is, really strong and as an equal to Superman. Given that you've invested all this money and energy into the show, you got to try to prop her up. You're putting her over, like you would say in wrestling. I think to do that, sometimes they've actually tried to bury Superman, which to me is a cardinal sin. I'm not saying you can't make Supergirl as strong as Superman, but to me, burying the strongest person in DC Universe, at least in terms of superheroes, is that to me you cannot do and under any circumstances. And I think Supergirl did it a lot. So, and then when you hear this show being kind of a family show about parenting, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think a lot of people are trying to hear that.
Slice of life, big time.
Yeah, I think people are getting Lois and Clark vibes. And look, that wasn't a bad show, but
I love Lois and Clark.
Yeah, but I think people say, yo, I want to see Superman punching Darkseid in the face. I want to see Superman giving guys smoke, on a regular basis, showing that he is, this. Yes, he's the Blue Boy Scout, but he's also a bad MFer too. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of Superman fans, I think, feel like he's getting a lot of slander, maybe for years, but really since the rise of the Nolan Batman, and then Man of Steel and Zack Snyder Superman, and that going kind of a different way and different route critically. I think Superman fans kind of feel in their feelings, and I understand that. I'm a Superman fan. I like Batman just as much or more, but I also love Superman, and I want to see Superman on television in a major way. So I want to see what this show is about. You know what I'm saying? If it's gonna be all about families and romance, it's cool. I watch it, but I need to see CW's commitment to making Superman the dude that he is, which is again, just the epitome of what truth, honor, and the American way is, and just the central figure of the superhero world that is created on Earth Prime. That's what he should be. That's what he is in every other iteration. So I need to see that.
Well, I mean, you guys know how I feel.
Mari's been the one saying that he ain't trying to hear all that with what Supergirl and this show has been saying about Superman.
Yeah, you guys know how I feel about Superman and Lois. I mean, this is probably towards the bottom of my list of people who I'm excited to see.
But I guess it's based on the idea that you think that there's nothing to see here, basically. That you think that everything I said about what the show's going to be about is what's going to be about, and you don't want to see that.
And yeah, exactly. And look, can they prove me wrong? Maybe if they show up and they have all the Damian Wayne and they cast Jonathan Kent, the son, and all that. I mean, if they do all that,
yeah,
then sure. I mean, we'll see how I feel about it. Even then, I wouldn't necessarily say I love it.
Right.
It would depend on what the story is, but. Yeah, just based on the description. I mean, if that's the description of the show, which is the description they put out of what the show is, they got a lot of work to do to bring me on board.
So, I'll be honest, I don't have much to say on Superman and Lois. That you guys haven't said. I mean, it is what it is. I'm kind of in Shamari's boat. I mean, I guess I do want to see a trailer if they have one, but I'm kind of the jury's still out for me until I see a trailer. But do we have any honorable mentions that we wanted to mention real quick before we close?
I mean, Zack Snyder. I mean, he was very.
No one said Snyder.
I feel like it's so obvious. I feel like
you said so much over the last
I know. Like I feel like DC Fandome has been like the last year for Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Like if you go to his Twitter account, has been DC Fandome for a year. He's been posting pictures, he's been posting images, he's been posting clips. I don't if you don't show the 6-hour Justice League movie at Fandome, it's a 24-hour event, so you got the time. Maybe he's surprised because, yo, man, the film is out. Watch it. Like, okay, now I'm intrigued. But considering everything we've seen, all the stuff he put out a picture of Steppenwolf today, I think. It's okay, cool, he's there. I know we're gonna see a lot of stuff, but he's been dropping stuff, since he left. So
the one thing that we haven't seen is Darkseid. Do we see Darkseid?
I thought we did see Darkseid. He posted a picture of Darkseid.
You see the back of Darkseid, or you see
But okay, so we've seen him. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I'm not sure what he can show in a trailer.
That would be crazy.
Again, we've seen Darkseid. I don't know what he could post for me. Again, I'm gonna be interested. I'm gonna pay attention. But he's been posting for a year.
Right.
I'm not saying I'm not excited. I'm excited about everything that's happening. This is going to be, a dope event. But
yeah, no, absolutely. I was going to say another person I saw on the list was Neil Gaiman. One of the things that wasn't really expecting to see on the list. I mean, he just came out with a Sandman audiobook.
Interesting. Yeah, he did. He came out with that. Yeah,
he has been gaining a lot of attention. Has a lot of very big name actors and actresses on that project.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's someone I didn't really expect to see.
None of us mentioned Greg Weisman. Obviously, Young Justice
he was there as well.
coming back. We hope in the near future. Where that lives, are they announcing that on HBO Max, or are they keeping that on DC Universe? We'll see where that goes. Another dark horse name that no one's kind of talking under the radar. CCH Pounder was on the list, and for those who don't know, that she's the voice actress for Amanda Waller in the Bruce Timm animated universe. So what does that mean? Is she playing Amanda Waller in the video game? Is she playing Amanda Waller in a movie? possibly, or is there some sort of Bruce Timm project that we don't know about?
I'll tell you what though, like when it comes to voice casting, like in superhero world, I don't. There are not too many better
Yes.
than that one. I mean, if I read a Suicide Squad or any DC comic, and
You're thinking
Amanda
of her.
Waller's there, that's the voice I'm listening to, and it's very synonymous. Like to me, like obviously Tara Strong with Harley Quinn is very high as well, but I mean that's like perfect casting to the point where every time we saw Amanda Waller on TV, we saw Amanda Waller in a movie played by a Oscar-winning actress, and it's like I don't want to say it didn't feel right, but I still and we even saw it with Angela Bassett way back in the day in the Green Lantern movie. But
Yes.
like even
Yes,
every time like she shows up, like I'm still kind of expecting that voice. Like that's how great her voice has been. So if she is behind the voice on the game, that would be killer. I didn't see Javicia Leslie. I don't know if you guys saw.
Yes, you don't know.
She's on the list. So yeah, that list is really hard to read. So she's on that list.
I'm looking for these names and not seeing them.
I mean, it's 300 names. You know what I'm saying?
Where is she?
Look, I got older eyes than you guys, man. You know what I'm saying? So where's Gagathon? So I got older eyes than you guys. So some names didn't pop up to me, but Leslie is on there. Batwoman, obviously, major change. They're literally changing Batwoman, the character, not just the person who's playing the character, but the actual character who's Batwoman is completely different. Cameron Johnson, I think, is the one that really kind of sparked all of this hype for DC Fandome, and to some degree, he was the first actor to say, "Yo, man, y'all gonna be bugging out when y'all see this." Like, so, and obviously he said that he went through a walkthrough, so I'm assuming he went through his part in this situation. So, curious what Batwoman is gonna be about, what they're gonna show. All the CW shows are gonna be in a weird predicament because they haven't been able to shoot during the pandemic. I think they're expected to shoot soon, but like, they all ended their season short. Like, are they going to be showing old footage that should have finished the season? Are they starting their seasons brand new? Like, we don't know anything about anything with those CW shows. Obviously Stargirl is in its own world because it was shot at different times, so their season ended, fine. But all the other shows, like, I don't know what to expect, and all of them are going to be there. Grant Gustin's going to be there. All of them are going to be there. So that to me is also like I'm very fascinated to see what they're going to do with that. And Batwoman having the tallest order of, again, not using Ruby Rose and the Kate Kane character anymore. And the way their season ended was really weird, considering, of course, we know it was a pandemic related, but how do you then, pivot to a new Batwoman? Is all that footage you had with Ruby Rose dead? I would assume so. So I don't know. That's also a name, Javicia Leslie and Cameras and all the crew, everybody working on the Arrowverse. Very fascinating to see what happened. I guess Black Lightning also wasn't affected. I saw Cross Williams on there. I think they finished their season regularly.
Yeah.
So they're a show that also wasn't affected by the pandemic. But yeah, it's gonna be a fascinating. It's gonna be a huge show, man. This is gonna be crazy. I don't know what to expect. A 24-hour. I don't know what even a 24-hour thing means. Like, I don't know if that means like in overnight hours they're gonna be doing panels. Like, I don't know what. There's very little we still know, which is why I gotta make sure this video gets up, because as soon as I say that, they're gonna have the whole rundown out. But what do you guys think? What are you guys looking forward to with this DC Fandome panel? Make sure you guys leave a comment on this video. Make sure you, of course, like the video and subscribe to our channel, New Generation Media. If you enjoyed this kind of conversation, this kind of back and forth when it comes to superhero movies and television, we do a podcast every week, New Generation Hero Talk. You can find that on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and TuneIn. That's Kendall. That's Shamari. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm EJ. Take it easy, guys. Peace.